Hello, this is Jerry and welcome to my video. Today's video is dedicated to all those senior citizens and super senior citizens who have worked their entire life to give their children a good and bright future. Before I start this video, I wanted to tell you about a study that was conducted in 2022. And as per the report, there were more than 149 million persons above the age of 60 years. And this number would grow to 347 million by the year 2050. The surprising fact is that this population is growing at such a fast rate that it will outnumber the number of children by 2050. On the other hand, the most disappointing fact is that nearly 18.7% of the elderly population does not have any income. As the number of elderly persons increases, also there's a need to safeguard their rights and also their well-being. On seeing the growing need to address this requirement, Indian legislators have brought out a law to protect those who are old, which would eventually help them in improving the quality of their lives. In this video, we are going to discuss the rights of senior citizens, especially regarding the act that protects senior citizens, which is called Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act of 2007. So let's dive deep into this video and discuss what are the important provisions in this act. In this video, you are going to learn the following. First, what are the key provisions of the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act of 2007? Second, what are the drawbacks of the mentioned act? Third, what has the judiciary done to safeguard the rights of elderly citizens? I hope this video will be helpful to all those elderly citizens to know your rights and the recent amendments that have been proposed and implemented to safeguard your rights. If you are a casual viewer, this might be helpful for you because, as the saying goes, life is a circle. So it's better for you to know your rights. The only request is that please watch the entire video, as there is a lot of research done to help you understand this act in a simple way. So without further talk, let's get on with the video. The first question is, what are the key provisions of the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act of 2007? The key provisions of this act, Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act of 2007, let's call it in short MWPSC, is firstly, it is an obligation of the children to maintain their parents. Second, the Act directs state governments to establish old age homes for those senior citizens who cannot live with their families. Third, it is also permitted voluntary organizations that are officially registered under the Societies Act to apply for financial support for elderly people and to help them protect their property rights. So these organizations can now represent senior citizens when they need help with money or property matters before any tribunal. Fourth, the Act has established to help maintenance tribunals to address complaints regarding the maintenance of senior citizens. This tribunal can pass orders and ensure that the orders are complied with. 5. The state government needs to ensure healthcare services for senior citizens. They need to be provided beds in all hospitals and separate queues for old people. 6. The Act ensures that property rights of senior citizens needs to be safeguarded. Suppose a senior citizen gives his property to his son or daughter, thinking that they will look after them when they have to do so in their old age. This act allows senior citizens to cancel this gift if they are not looked after. 7. The Act ensures that sons and daughters who neglect to look after their parents will be punished with imprisonment for 3 months or a fine of 5,000 rupees or both. Finally, any offences done against senior citizens are cognizable, which means it is a serious crime and police officers can arrest that person without a warrant. Also, it allows any person to file a complaint on behalf of that affected old person. The second question is, what are the drawbacks of the MWPSC Act? The MWPSC Act was brought out with a good intention, but certain issues need to be addressed as such. Firstly, the Act does not include son-in-law or daughter-in-law as children, as in certain families, they might be the only earning member. Second, the prescribed amount for maintenance of elderly persons is rupees 10,000, which in today's cost of living is insufficient. Third, the Act does not take into account social disadvantages that elderly people face in everyday life, where in hospitals they do not wish to invest more on healthcare of old people, and also the elderly persons lack the technology and there are no people to help them out. Fourth, Section 17 of the Act does not allow advocates to represent a case of a senior citizen before any tribunal, because the MWPSC tribunal themselves can investigate and gather evidence, because of which there is no requirement for a lawyer. That's what the Act says. 5. The Act does not ensure compliance of the state government or bringing out schemes for setting up old age homes. Finally, the Act does not mention educating police officers to address issues regarding crimes against elders. However, the government has taken note of these issues and they have proposed an amendment in 2019. The third question is, what has the judiciary done to safeguard the rights of elderly citizens? The judiciary has done a very good job, in fact, in filling up the gaps of the MWPSC of 2007 in the following cases by passing judgments. Anil Kumar Diman versus State of Haryana. The Punjab and Haryana High Court held that aged parents would have the right to evict their son and daughter-in-law, and they have also passed an observation which quotes, however, when the very children who the parents have reared with untold sorrows and miseries throw them at the mercy of their destiny and use their muscle power to torture and harass them, the parents whose world gets totally shattered, they become helpless from all sides, and thus begins the unfortunate tale of their moving from one forum to another for redressal of their grievances. It's very sad. If you remember, I had mentioned some time back that parents can take back gifts, and this is an appropriate example. There's another case. Also, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has passed another order in the case Ramesh versus Ishwar Devi. It was held that Section 23 is inadequate protection of property of aged persons or parents against such sons and daughters who abandon the parents after receiving the property despite knowing that the elderly old age people are incapable of taking care of themselves in their last phase of life. The ambiguity that was addressed in Section 17, if you remember, of the NWPSC 2007, which bars advocates from representing elderly persons before tribunals and appellate authorities. In this regard, many judgment was passed in cases such as Paramjit Kumar Soroya versus Union of India, Tarun Saxena versus Union of India, and Advocate KG Suresh versus Union of India. All these judgments state that Section 30 of the Advocates Act of 1961 would supersede Section 17 of NWPSC of 207. So advocates are allowed to represent elderly persons before any tribunal. Finally, the Supreme Court too has passed an order in the case Ashwini Kumar versus Union of India, and the order provided various guidelines, thus strengthening the NWPSC Act. Well, before I conclude this video about the rights of senior citizens, I wanted to tell you that the Maintenance of and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act is a major step in the prevention of atrocities to elderly persons. The elderly population is a valuable segment of our society. They also deserve the care, respect and support in their old age. Many countries have also passed laws to safeguard the rights of elderly people. Despite all the laws being implemented, it does not require laws to teach us as children to respect and protect elders, as they've given their entire life in bringing us to this world and holding us to stand up on our own feet. We have to be thankful for it. Well, if you like my video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for further updates on law and knowing your rights, and specifically to stand up for it when you're faced with tough situations. Take care and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.